Did you guys watch the Epic Straw Man?
What's happening with UQ? What's going off?
The most epic straw man of flat Earth has happened.
What's that?
The final debates. They had all these fucking the most retarded flat earthers they could find to push the. So basically, no flat earthers that claimed that the final experiment was fake, right? Every flat earther that they had on just believed it was real, and has like some fucking retarded model to deal with all the claims of the globe and this everything, you know.
Yikes. Well, I kind of get your stance actually, because I'd argue that the 24-hour sun is so devastating to flat Earth. I could definitely see why you'd just rather reject it.
Well, that's not my stance. That's like kind of a straw man.
Well, you know what I mean.
For most of us, it's not about accepting or rejecting it. It's about finding the evidence because we want to know the truth.
It's like
We're not trying to push, most of us aren't trying to push an agenda. Most of us are just seeking the truth. And if you watch any of that final experiment footage, it's obviously faked. So obviously fake.
it just
Especially if you're from a climate.
yeah, it just happens to be. Sorry, I kind of cut you off. Yeah, no, it just happens like so. It's like saying I just wanted it to be that only a man and a woman can have a kid. It's like no, they lied about that, and I caught them lying, and it just happens to make sense of the fact that it was just a lie. A lie because I couldn't deal with it not being a lie. It just happens to be that the truth is rational and it makes sense.
So what do you think is at 80 degrees south on the winter solstice?
I have no idea. I don't know what 80 degrees south is in relation to the map. I don't know what the map is or what the stars do at any part of the map that isn't. I don't really keep track of if stellarium's correct, where I'm at. They're already like, isn't that what celestial theodolite is? They're claiming that it's stellarium's a little bit off.
Well, it doesn't really answer what I said. Like if you're at the equator and you start going south, and we call those degrees as you keep going south. So you can go to the southern tip of South America, and then what happens when you go, a couple more hours from there? I mean, do you think it's just dark, or I mean, what do you think is there?
I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know what south means like in comparison with the map. The magnetic field might not, just be going outward. Just like when you go magnetic, like when you go opposite of north, it might take you in a direction that makes you think you're going, away from that you're going in a straight line still, and you're not. Who knows? So I don't know how the map is laid out completely, or I know there's only one 24-hour sun. That's what I know.
Have you ever been south of the equator?
A little bit, not that much.
Where were you south of the equator?
Well, I've been farther than Ecuador, so I've been a little bit farther than the equator. I didn't look at the stars when I was little, or track them with a camera.
So you claim you know that there's no 24-hour sun there, but you've never been there?
Well, they wouldn't have to fake it every time. It's like I thought that they could go to the moon, and then I realized they faked it every time. So now I know that they obviously can't, and they're just lying about that. Doing that. doesn't mean I have to go to the moon to find, like, to have to try to go to the moon to see it. Like, they just, if they're gonna keep faking it, it's obviously fake.
You claim there is a 24-hour sun without going, Geo. What's the difference?
You guys have a problem with the 24-hour sun in the north, for example? I'm just asking.
No, those videos look pretty
Nope.
legit.
Okay, cool. So it's just the south. All right.
Well, that is where they've been caught faking it on numerous occasions. So it's not just this last time they've gotten caught faking it before that. So yeah, it is just the South that's in question because that's where they were caught faking it. So it makes sense.
Well,
No,
when were
I
they
hear
caught?
that. I'm not
Who
going
fake?
against it.
Wait, who caught
Just when
faking
it
it?
started.
I'm confused. Who's caught faking it? Who were actually
TFE,
caught?
bro. TFE. What? Welcome to the conversation. Like 8 months later.
I didn't think. I still
Right.
think it's real. I don't know. What have I missed?
What have you missed? You've been living
Yeah.
under a rock. You've been in here every day, haven't you?
Yeah, I still haven't seen anything
No, man,
conclusive.
stop trolling.
I don't. I'm
Yeah,
looking
dude,
for.
you're trolling, bro. You're trolling.
Well, you make it sound like you've got something that's just hard line, set in stone. It's
Yeah, dude,
definitely fake.
there's like 30 videos on my channel. Like, I mean, there's lots of people, not just my channel. There's like dozens of channels putting out countless examples. I mean, if you haven't educated yourself on it, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of catching up to do.
Well, what's your best one? What's the best evidence you think?
Oh
I
man,
just like
the sun squishing into a football. The fact that the sky, it looks nothing like what happens in the north with the sky actually like dimming down and then brightening back up again, and it looking like the sun is kind of going away and then coming back, and then that not
Yeah,
being
there's no
comparable.
parallax. There's no parallax, and they're not in the center of the South Pole, so there would be a little bit of parallax.
Don't they explain that because of the camera though? Rusted?
Yeah, their excuse for everything is the camera.
Yeah, and even like the line that we found, that, well, not that we found, but that what's his name, Winter Warrior, I think, or something, posted that he found in the 360 footage of, there was like a 90-degree angle, and then that video disappears. Witsit uploads it, and it's
But
blurred out, but you can still
well,
see
yeah,
it. And
I showed Witsit. I showed the line that they blurred out. That still, you can still find it. I showed it
yeah, you
in
can
that
still
first
see it.
presentation we did.
It's still there, and then people claim that's where they stitch the stuff together, but they make that claim without going and actually looking at the footage themselves. Like, all you got to do is go look at it, see where the stitch is, which is about 30 feet to the left of where the camera is, which is the camera is where that line comes up from, and the 90-degree angle comes up from. So when people make that claim, they're just saying that because that's what they've been told by their handlers to say. It's a bullshit excuse that's been proven wrong over and over, and people still bring it up. It's retarded.
Well, when people say, for instance, and this grinds my gears a little bit, when they say silly things like, "Oh well, the Eiffel Tower exists," or China, or something like this, that grinds my gears a little bit because I'm like, well, billions of people have been to China. Stop saying silly things. You can't compare that to the moon landings, for instance, which is a couple of dozen people. I'm all for questioning that, because if me and a couple of dozen of my mates said we've been to the moon, you'd be like, have you really though? Whereas with this now, I think it becomes a more justified true belief when I learn that they've had a marathon there since the 90s. Since the mid-90s, they've had a marathon there.
Yeah,
So
but has anybody ran the marathon, recorded the 24-hour sun? No. So
they see
that's where the
the
problem
sun
comes
at
in.
midnight though, right?
Do they? I don't know. Have they recorded it? Does anybody else like it? Like, it seems like the only people that care, I guess, are the flat earthers, and then so the only people that have recorded it are these suspect lying on every angle, not just the flat, but the globe heads also all happen to be like shady characters. Like the whole lot is shady. We're supposed to just trust them. Yeah, no, that's like trusting
Yeah, Russ,
freaking an astronaut.
And 8 years ago, when I started questioning the flat Earth, I saw a couple of different videos
yeah,
of the
Rusted, did
20
you see that?
in the South Pole, and they were all spliced, they were all cut. So even before this, they were faking the 24-hour sun footage in the South Pole. That's all they've ever
Exactly.
done is fake it. So I mean,
Yeah.
But wait a minute. That could be flat earthers doing that, though, right?
You know what's funny is that Jaren tried to say that Eric, what's his name? Eric Dubay was the one that was pushing the no 24-hour sun, but it was actually Jaren. He was the one that did multiple live streams, really long live streams about this in 2016. You can go in the Wayback Machine and find it since he deleted all of his videos. But
For
he was the one that was pushing it. So how convenient that he was the one that
yeah,
was pushing it the hardest. What's up, Kyo?
literally, sorry, I'm delayed. I was trying to get in, but I'm right before him and Witsit like were chosen to go or whatever. Jaren was saying that maybe they're gonna use like a sun simulator because he was still playing the position of like I don't believe that there's a 24-hour sun down there, which is funny.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question because I heard you say about the sun squashing and that. You're not saying there was an artificial sun or anything like that, right? You're just saying that the footage looks squirrely, right? You're not saying that they were, or are you saying that they were in some sort of um, enclosement and they were projecting this, or I
I
just
don't
want to.
think that. I think that they're all liars, and I think that it was like probably a movie set of some sort, or like a 360, whatever. I don't think that anybody managed to trick Jaren and Witsit into thinking something was in the sky that wasn't. I just don't believe. I don't go with that Weiss theory. Not buying it.
That'd be a massive movie set, then, wouldn't it?
Not really.
Well, you
I mean,
see
it's
them driving like those
Well,
those sort of
see that, but
vehicles that they jump in.
that's a
You see
different
them
thing
drive
though.
for miles.
Yeah, okay, but
no,
you
you don't.
realize you
You
Yeah, you
don't.
do.
okay, but
Actually,
you realize
no.
the part there's only one the 24-hour footage of the sun is the only time they need to be in the set when they're in that area when they're shooting those videos. When they're going off and going in other places, they could be in a real, they could be taking videos in Antarctica, Iceland, wherever, and that doesn't mean that that's the sun that did a 24-hour spin around them. They're taking videos from different times of the year.
Or even one of those islands or something that's nearby that's like icy or whatever. Or maybe they even went there and went to the actual camp and whatever and just photoshopped the sun in for the 24-hour part, like just did one video, but then the rest of the time they just, changed their timestamps. They didn't share any kind of telemetry data. As far as people, you said that people where you see them driving around. It's funny when you see them doing the drone thing. That drone didn't go any higher than 6-7 feet in the air. So, like that was weird. I'm like, the only time that they would do something like that is if there was something above them that would that it would hit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I thought that was weird.
And I've seen many times in video that New York getting destroyed by some alien invasion or some other city getting destroyed by, and it looks real. It looks a lot more real than anything NASA or the final experiment put out. And I know for a fact it was filmed in a little room with a green screen. So you're not going to convince me that they couldn't fake that very easily. And like people have said, it doesn't all have to be done in a studio. Only certain parts of it do.
Yeah, especially with NASA's budget, dude. If NASA funded this shit, and they're like, I mean, you can't tell me that they wouldn't have the money to do this.
Well, I mean, the people who run the company to take people there, the staff, it's well known among those people that there's a 24-hour sun.
Actually, it's not. When I called, the lady said, I'm like, so did you see? Well, I heard somebody else call, and then I also called, and she, in the recording of the one guy that's out asking them, the lady said at first, no, it's not 20, like, you don't see the sun for 24 hours. And then she, like, somebody you could hear or, like, tell that somebody, like, told her something, and she was like, I mean, Yeah, you can. Like it was super weird and suspect. I'm just saying there are some weird conversations that were had about that, and considering there is no other footage and there is nobody else doing this, I mean, I don't know. You believe what you want. If you want to believe it,
Yeah.
go for it. Unicorns and rainbows.
Listen, hey, if you find something, it doesn't sound like you've got anything definitive as far as I can tell. If
Dude,
that were
there's
your
30
best proof,
fucking videos. Are you
well, if
serious?
that were your best proof, it doesn't sound definitive to me.
How can you
But
explain
listen, I
something
say
that's a
good luck to you, though.
visual?
Good
I
luck to you. If
literally
you
just named off like multiple things while three other people were naming off stuff in between, and you haven't looked at one thing that we're talking about. So, like, if not to claim that there's nothing definitive without even actually looking into it and watching the videos that we're talking about is extremely dishonest of you, actually.
Well, I mean, we followed they kept tuning into this server. Remember, we kind of followed the little journey,
I
and
thought you
Geo
didn't
did a
remember.
huge deep dive into Antarctica before. He was sort of looking at these skydivers and all that.
10 minutes ago,
And
you had no idea what we were talking about. And there was one video of skydivers. Geo claims that there's hundreds, if not thousands, or 1,000 videos of it, and it doesn't exist. So that's a false claim that he keeps making over and over to brainwash you guys into believing that there's hundreds of thousands of 1,000 videos of a 24-hour sun, but it just doesn't exist. There's literally one, and it's extremely shady, and it's a 360 footage that is, I mean, whatever you, if you want to believe that, go for it, but to me it doesn't look, as in your words, it doesn't look very definitive to me.
Okay, yeah. So I never claimed that there are hundreds or thousands of 24-hour sun footages. What I said is that there are hundreds or upwards of 1,000 of videos from Union Glacier. I corrected you on this last time, and I guess you're just being deceptive again and trying to claim that I claimed that there was all those of a 24-hour sun, and you're trying to say that I'm brainwashing
He
people when you
literally just
clearly
quoted
were
you.
being deceptive because I cleared this up the last time you were here.
We'll clear it
That
up with him.
I said clearly there is one 24-hour sun footage. I've been saying that for months and months and months on this server. Never once have I said on the recording of this server ever that there is any more than one from Union Glacier before they went. So for you to say that is very, very bizarre. You're either
Then correct
mistaken or
Andy.
purposefully being deceptive.
Go ahead and correct Andy then. Go ahead, because he's the one that said it just now.
well,
Rewind.
I was making the point that Geo did a huge deep dive into these people who go there because I was there watching the footage that he was finding, and then it was right at the end, wasn't it, Geo, of one of the videos, and I don't think it had many views. And but the point is that there it is. there's the proof that you wanted. So I mean, if you don't want to believe it,
There's
I don't
one
blame
video.
you because it's
One
very
video, though.
devastating to the flat Earth. I get it.
No,
What is
it's
that
really
you're
not.
talking about?
It's really not
There's-
devastating.
There's actually there's one footage from Union Glacier of the 24-hour sun, the 360 camera one. There's actually like about 8 or 10 others that show the sun like either moving in the south, like behind that mountain, which is obviously a problem for the AE map. So there's like several others that show the sun either in the south. There's probably about 8 or 10. I mean, I haven't saved on my thing that show the sun either in the south or moving in the south. Otherwise, there's definitely hundreds, if not 1,000 videos from Union Glacier showing the sun in various positions and all of that. And video up at Mount Vincent as well, showing the sun in all the positions.
And as to Witsit fucking up with the vape, yeah, I think that was a bit weird. I've got to say, but I can easily put that down to Witsit doing something silly because he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders, right? And he just did something silly, It doesn't mean that they didn't go.
And nobody
I
said that. Nobody even used that as an example in the past.
No, I'm just
15
saying.
minutes
I
we've been
mean,
talking
these
about
were
it.
the accusations at the time, though. And I looked into a few of them, and I was like, "Oh, the footprints and this, that, and the other, and the shadows." And I was like, "These are all perfectly explainable." I thought so.
It's actually not like the 90-degree angle. Still, nobody has been able to recreate, or that one guy, that chief squatting guy, tried to recreate it with a lamp, and it still wasn't at a 90-degree angle. And I told him he couldn't use a lamp because we're not, unless you're claiming that they were using a lamp in Antarctica, you can't use a lamp to show what I'm talking about. And if you, I mean, I guess you probably don't know what picture I'm talking about. I'll have to go find it and post it again. But there's 90-degree angle of the little dome tent thing going one way and Jaren's shadow going the other. Tell me how that's possible on a globe. Tell me how that's possible not being a close light source.
Well, there's what? Sorry, say that again. There's two shadows. Did you say?
Two shadows making a 90-degree angle. Like maybe 20 to 30 feet in front of Jaren is a tent-looking dome, yellow dome thing with the shadow going to the left, right? Like a 90-degree angle with his shadow going in front of him.
Yeah, I mean,
Then I-
well, sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say, I've lived in Wisconsin
Yeah,
for 50 years. And if
there's
you
a
can hear
lot
someone pushing on your feet,
there's
you're
shadows
going to leave.
missing. There's a shadow with a camera missing.
I think QOP's super delayed.
Yeah, I'm delayed. Sorry.
Oh,
So Rusted Soul,
Yeah.
do you think the AE map is correct? Is that your claim?
the only reason
I
I
don't
think
make
it's
the claim.
because that's the one that they flaunt in our face. The World Health Organization, the UN. I mean, they push it in our face. They and flags. I mean, they're waving it in flags in our faces. Of
Well, that's
course,
the only
Yeah,
flat Earth. It's the only flat Earth map that has a problem with the 24th sun in the south. So I'm saying she must be championing that map.
I don't champion any map. I just, I champion the Earth is moving upward, and that can't happen on a globe or concave. So that's why I'm a flat earther. To me, a map's like anybody can make a map and be like, this is right, and this is, we already know that it's missing land, and the land isn't the right sizes. So why should we believe anything else about it? That doesn't, you know, like if there was tons, like hundreds of other videos of this supposed 24-hour sun, I wouldn't be questioning it. But it took this long for somebody, that video that you were talking about was from what, like a year before TFE, like maybe 2 years tops. The one from the whatever it's called, the I forget the only other video that you were talking about from the people skydiving or whatever. Like that wasn't from that long ago. Like that's really bad if that's the only time that this is the only time. And it's not like this is the first time it's been brought up. Like Zetetic people were bringing it up. And, even the Lady Blunt, like people try and use her as like, oh, she knew. But when she says there might be a sun, saying the word might is not very definitive, if you ask me. And this was all in my presentation from 8 months ago. So I know that like Andy's behind, but then it sounds like he's kind of paying attention, just trolling a few minutes ago and just wanted to like, I don't really understand why we're even going over this again. But, anybody can go watch the hundreds of videos that various channels have made showing all of the things step by step that what we've gone through and why we think it's not legit. And they're all valid, in my opinion, if you're any kind of a critical thinker. I don't champion any map. I just, I champion the Earth is moving upward, and that can't happen on a globe or concave. So that's why I'm a flat earther. To me, a map's like anybody can make a map and be like, this is right, and this is, we already know that it's missing land, and the land isn't the right sizes. So why should we believe anything else about it? That doesn't, like if there was tons, like hundreds of other videos of this supposed 24-hour sun, I wouldn't be questioning it. But it took this long for somebody, that video that you were talking about was from what, like a year before TFE, like maybe 2 years tops. The one from the whatever it's called, the I forget the only other video that you were talking about from the people skydiving or whatever. Like that wasn't from that long ago. Like that's really bad if that's the only time that this is the only time. And it's not like this is the first time it's been brought up. Like Zetetic people were bringing it up. And, even the Lady Blunt, like people try and use her as like, oh, she knew. But when she says there might be a sun, saying the word might is not very definitive, if you ask me. And this was all in my presentation from 8 months ago. So I know that like Andy's behind, but then it sounds like he's kind of paying attention, just trolling a few minutes ago and just wanted to like, I don't really understand why we're even going over this again. But, anybody can go watch the hundreds of videos that various channels have made showing all of the things step by step that what we've gone through and why we think it's not legit. And they're all valid, in my opinion, if you're any kind of a critical thinker.
Well, with all due respect, I think you sound a little bit desperate, to be honest. But I sort of salute you as well, though. I'm like, okay, if you think this is fake, and you think you found enough to debunk it, basically, then good for you. But honestly, I was satisfied. I was satisfied with it, and I was a little bit ashamed of myself for not realizing they'd had a marathon there since 1995.
Are you guys aware of the BBC program? I'm not taking sides here now. I'm just putting this out there. Sure, a lot of people are aware of this. Where the BBC
Planet
fooled.
Earth.
Sorry?
Oh, never mind. Go ahead. You're going in a different direction. Go ahead.
Yeah, they fooled people that they took them on a rocket into space, and they were in orbit. You guys seen that one?
Yeah, I saw that. I see.
I know you saw it, Andy, but I was wondering if Rusted saw it or Q-Op or anybody else.
No, I haven't. And there's a lot of people that well, not people, but a lot of like shows and movies that are based off of that. Like it's how easy it is to fool people into thinking they're like on Mars or somewhere just because they got like LED screens around them and all that kind of shit. But no, I haven't
You're
seen
gonna
that.
love
What?
it. Rusted, I'm
Nice. I'll
telling you,
check it out.
they made a
It's from.
whole thing in a hangar, in an old American hangar from World War II. They got stuff from. They went to Russia. They bought Russian beer, Russian chocolates. They made a whole Russian little town. Like they put them in a plane. They flew them around, and they made them believe they went to Russia, where they took off in a rocket. You'll love it. Like especially you and Q-Op, you guys are gonna love this.
All right. It's from BBC. From how long ago?
Oh, it's years ago, like 15, 20 years ago. Google it and it's easy to find.
There's one thing I
Okay.
wonder about that though, is how would you simulate the G forces?
I'm glad you asked that. The gravity, right?
Yeah.
Well, they made, you're not going to believe this. They made up a story that they had an anti-gravity device. And by the way, they had handlers aboard, right? I think there was
Hold on. Did they
7.
say? Did they say they flew to Russia or they said where did this go to?
They say they took him from England, right? And they flew him around in circles and they made them believe that they flew to Russia. You know, where
Yeah.
the
So they really
cosmos.
fool. They really fooled them. You wouldn't have to say you had a fake thing. Like they really got in a plane, took off, right?
Yeah, but they fooled them in the rocket part. They actually made them believe that they took off in a rocket, bro, and they were in space.
Oh.
That's the
And they
part.
just floated around in space and then landed back down on the ground.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but I'm delayed, so sorry about this interruption.
I'm
The
sorry, right?
Russian,
Yeah.
Maybe I
the
wasn't delayed.
Russian one sounds believable. Like you could do that. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? But the moon one, or in the space in an actual rocket, yeah, it's crazy to trick someone with that.
Yeah. So they had I think 7 of them total, but 2 of them were plants, right? They were there to reinforce the other people if they were saying like, "What do you mean they have an anti-gravity machine or something like that?" Right? They were there to reinforce the lie. It's amazing. Like it's
Yeah,
yeah.
you
What
get a
and
couple
this is
guys in the room. They're like,
BBC.
"Oh," you get a couple guys in the room. They're like, "Oh no, I saw this on a website. Yeah, the new anti gravity thing they made. Yeah, it'd be easy to get a couple plants in a room to get to push people along."
Exactly. Yeah.
This is ironic.
And at the end is the best part, bro. The end, they had all the audience there, right? Watching them. And then they opened the capsule and they showed them, like, look, this is all you're in a studio.
Yeah,
So
but
it's freaked out.
when you couldn't, it'd be a little bit harder to do this with Antarctica though, because you'd have to fly somewhere for reals and then land somewhere where there's a 24-hour sun in the sky. But you could fool them with landing in Russia or Australia or something if people didn't know what's going on and know what to look for and shit. But to fool someone with the 24-hour sun, like it's tough.
Yeah, I don't believe that's what happened. I don't think you can fool somebody that, oh, look, there's a sun up there that it's not there. I
Well,
mean, I don't think so,
so
anyways.
far,
But I just thought
so
I'd bring that thing up to show you how far they fooled people. Like they
Well,
actually thought you were in space.
some simulators do exist. Like there was the one in China that like exploded like a few years back or whatever. But But I don't think that that's what. I don't think that these guys got fooled. I think they're
Bro,
deceptive from the get go.
Before when I trusted Witsit before they went, I thought they were gonna use a sun simulator because I really did trust him. And then once I saw him like his like behaviors and like we caught him lying so much, it was just like, oh, I guess never mind. It's way simpler than a sun simulator.
When I heard a sun simulator, I was saying, I can't believe I'm hearing this. Like people are actually saying this. Like they're gonna fake a sun. I thought that was the most
I don't think it would.
ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I don't. It sounds far fetched, but I don't think it's impossible. If you gave me enough money and people and shit, like I could probably get you a fake sun.
Really,
heard
you're gonna
most
fake the heat. You're gonna fake. Come on, man.
I mean, it doesn't sound impossible.
Have you not seen the sun simulator from Boeing, the patent from Boeing from like the 50s, bro? Like this isn't new information. Like, come on, dude.
You need
Like
to
I
make
thought you were
light and
into
heat.
conspiracies.
Just don't buy it.
You need to make light and heat from a spot in the sky. Like it doesn't seem undoable.
Well, and if it's supposed to be frigid cold, you don't even really have to make heat. Because you're in Antarctica, you're expecting it to be cold. You're not expecting to feel the warmth of the sun. So you don't even have to make heat. You just have to make light.
And how about the real sun? It just goes
Or you
away.
just Photoshop it in later when there is no sun in the sky because there's no sun there for 24 hours.
Yeah, like tell me that it's a Photoshop. Tell me something like that. Okay, but a fake sun in the actual sky? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I
So
draw the
once
line.
again, you haven't seen the footage of this fake sun of the sun simulator exploding in the sky in China. You haven't seen that. You don't know what we're talking about. Maybe you should go watch it and
That
then tell
sounds
us how
dope.
stupid it is.
You mean the rocket? What looks like a rocket launch? That you mean that?
No, Google it straight up. Just go Google it, dude. The fact that this is 8 months later and you sound exactly like you did 8 months ago is really, really sad. Like, just go Google sun simulator explodes in China. It's not hard.
Yeah, when you SC when you find it, DM it to me. That sounds dope.
I'm gonna do that right now. I mean, if
I think I've
it's
Yeah.
seen that,
possible
but I
that I
don't know.
missed
I'm
this,
that.
okay. Sun simulator explosion in China. I'm on it right now.
I got my assistant on it, guys. Let's carry on.
It wasn't that bright. It still looked like daytime. I mean, nighttime.
That's China, though, bro. You're talking about, America.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't think they got god powers like that, man. People give them too much credit, dude.
I think I'm delayed, but that's kind of ironic because your God in the Bible does have weather modification, and he's the one in control of the world right now.
Yeah, they can't create hurricanes from scratch, bro. I don't believe they have that power either. Geoengineering, weather modification, they can manipulate weather. They can't just create a hurricane. Like they might be able to accelerate it, strengthen it, but to or maybe even steer it, dude. But to create a hurricane from scratch, I don't think they have that power yet, bro.
Hold on,
But
bro. Is
they
this what you mean? I posted it. Is this what you mean? Please, I hope this is what you're talking about. 7 past the hour. It's a short.
Oh, you found the artificial sun? Let's see it.
Yeah. Is that what you mean, Rusted?
Hold on, my hands are full. Let me look.
Kid, it's the SC's
Yo, what's
playing
up?
around
What's
with
this?
us right now.
Nope, that's not it.
That's what she's seen. So
Is that what you're talking about? Please tell me so I can start laughing. Tell me
I
that's
just
what you
said
mean.
no,
the
that's
real
not it. Are you deaf? I
Okay,
just said
okay.
no.
If you don't mind, can you find the one you mean? Because there's a whole bunch of them. I want to just see which one you mean.
You're
Yep, just
rusted.
give me a
Witsit's here.
second. Great, he can sell some bullshit products that's marked up 1,000%.
Oh, great.
that's what they seen.
So you
That's what
guys are
she's
gonna
seen
post
there.
it or what?
Oh
That
my
looks
god,
worse than the that looks
impatient
worse than the
fuck.
trip
It was
itself.
literally been It's literally been 10 seconds. I said, hold on a second. I got my hands full. And not even 10 seconds later, you're talking shit. Can you just fucking give me a second, please?
Okay, relax. I didn't know you were on it. Okay, thank you. You don't have to be like so aggressive.
You're annoying. Like, you literally 10 seconds, like, whatever. Anybody that was listening and paying attention, clearly you weren't, so.
You're probably having a rough day. I'll let it go.
Nah, but yo, seriously though, I did see that video. I think that she's talking about, and it looks like a rocket launch.
That's
And
the
there's
one I'm
something that
saying. And you
glows.
said no. Clearly, I
It
haven't
lights up
seen
like the
it.
shoreline.
I've been
It
sleeping.
does light up the shoreline, but it doesn't light up like to the extent where it's like 12 noon, bro. Like,
That's the one I thought, Lion. It looked like a rocket launch to me, but apparently I've been sleeping for 8 months, so I really would like to see this. I'm curious.
I even posted
Damn,
it in one of my
we lost
videos
it.
from a few months ago, too, but, hold on, I'm finding it.
You guys, Witsit came in here. You guys are talking about what the fuck are you guys talking about?
we should ask him a
You
question.
came
Dude.
in and you guys, I guess, figures I'm not gonna stick around for this shit.
I would just continue the conversation. Why would why switch it up? Because he's here, dude. You guys got quiet, bro, when he was here.
No one got quiet. I literally pointed out that he was there, and then you guys kept
Yeah,
talking
and I
about
literally,
whatever fucking video you're talking about.
I
yeah,
know.
and all I said was, dude's
You're
gonna
right.
sell some product marked up 1,000%. And what, did he leave then after I said that, or
Wait,
what?
you're
Rest
saying
of show kept
we were?
going,
Why are you
but
saying we were quiet when
Q
we
up
both
got
talked
quiet
about?
though.
No, I literally tried to start a conversation with him. You guys kept steering it away from that.
Actually, I noticed him and I said hi to him. So chose not to speak. That's on him.
All right, I'm gonna go quiet now.
As the chance kiosk. Kiosk's a schoolgirl, dude. He's laughing.
Yo, Witsit, Rusted wants to say something.
Dude, what? Is he back in here now?
Kind of, I thought that was funny.
Your
No one
boy,
thought that was
dude, that
funny.
you love so much is
Still didn't
here,
find
dude.
the video.
Dude, you guys keep fucking
I'm
distracting me
kidding.
while
I'm
I'm literally
kidding.
trying to,
Chill,
like.
man. I'm kidding.
What
Yo,
am I
Witsit,
looking here?
Yo, Witsit, are you gonna be in the documentary?
I don't know. They showed me the trailer with me in it, and because the trailer originally I was all throughout it, and that was actually the last scene where it says one small step for man, one giant leap for flat Earth, and I reached out and complained about it and said, like, if it's being presented as this like definitive final thing, like everyone on the trip was in agreement that it somehow debunks flat Earth, then I'm not going to be in it. I'm just going to give you a heads up, and then. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I got a call, but I messaged Jonathan that because they gave me like a private screening or whatever. And then Will, he messaged me, or no, Jonathan messaged me again later and said, dude, I hate that you're not going to be in the documentary. Will just messaged me and said he didn't want you in it. So uh, then I talked to Will because I don't want to for sure say I won't be in it. I'm like, I just want to see it because I want the flat Earth side to be like still manned, because I know now they have Jaren, so they actually have like a flat Earth guy, which is all they need, right? And then it kind of that was like the one thing I didn't foresee, which is that I thought Jaren and I would stand together, meaning like we have final cut of anything of us in it, and their documentary is trash if it doesn't have one of us in it. But I didn't really foresee that Jaren fully flipping that and going that hard against FE. So I don't know. I reached out to Jaren and said, like, bro, you gotta like stand with me on this. Screw them. Even if you flip to the globe, like, these people suck. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but if that's making sense, it's like I went through all this trouble writing that contract, and basically it like protected us from like any conceivable thing. Will's actually broken it. I could probably sue him. He actually dropped that 360 that had audio in it, which he wasn't supposed to be able to do. But anyway, so they're supposed to like give me final edit rights. They may think about how much work it is to make a documentary. They may not even be putting me in it. I don't know. But I reached back out to Will and said, by the way, I'm not saying I won't be in it. I'm just saying like the flat earth side has to be stillman. Because what happened in my interview was I laid it all out. I laid out how like this doesn't prove the earth's a glow, it doesn't debunk flat earth. I started just listing off like definitive measurements and stuff like that. And then I even flat smacked some like PhD that was there for the marathon at the hotel in Punta Arenas. And we sat down on the couch. I had like a 30-minute conversation with them, fully explained flat earth, like all the actual evidence is. So like if that's not in the documentary, if my answers aren't in the documentary, right, then they can make flat earth look retarded straight up. So I don't know how that's going to go. It's like, long story short, maybe. And obviously I get to decide if I'm in it. Like they can't use anything of me without me approving it. But who knows? I mean, Jonathan said he would still man flat earth. I don't know if he will. I don't know if Jaren will kind of agree to, because technically Jaren could like, shock everyone, I guess, and stand up and be an OG at the very end and say, nope, you guys can't use me after they make it. And then they're kind of screwed. But I'm sure a lot of people in this room would say, don't hold your breath, right? I don't know. I reached out to Jaren about it though, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm sure doesn't work too great with all these retarded narratives about how it was all planned and I was chill and all this bullshit. But
Can
anyway,
you release your telemetry data now that you're moving and your address isn't going to be on it?
yes, actually, when I move, I will release it.
Word.
Yeah. I thought about doing it anyway because my girls aren't here right now, so it's like whatever. I mean, you're gonna get shot in the face to come to my house. So
Does that change anything for your Rusted Soul if he does release it?
I mean, I would have to look at it before I can make an opinion on it, but I mean, if he's got like some photoshopped, I guess I wouldn't be able to tell. I don't know. I'd have
Is there
to
anything
all
else
I
that
know
would
about
change your opinion from what it is?
like how hard would it be to like type something up and make it look like, I mean, if they can put a fake sun in the sky and sell that, then they could make a fake telemetry sheet. But
why wouldn't I have already done that?
Hey, Witsit.
I don't know, because you're busy with like a bajillion other things trying to like,
I thought this
whatever.
was like a really
Like
orchestrated
it doesn't.
conspiracy. Is it actually up to me
It's
in my
not very
life?
just like Sandy Hook wasn't very well orchestrated. Look how sloppy they were. There's a lot of
You,
conspiracies that aren't
wait,
they're getting
you think
lazy.
the people that pulled off Sandy Hook was like, hey, little actors in the movie, I need you to be responsible for all the alleged evidence, and if you just get busy and don't do it, then oh well.
I mean,
Hey,
they
Witsit.
they could have covered their tracks and made it at least appear like the school was an operating school for years
Oh,
ahead
Sandy
of
Hook,
time.
they totally dropped the ball. Yeah, it was butchered.
Hey, Witsit.
You can even go and look at
I
the
kind of only have a
lottery,
few
and
minutes
all
to
these
be
people
here.
got paid out with the lottery. What's up?
Yeah, I only have a few minutes to be here, but I just wanted to ask a couple questions.
Okay, well, me too.
Yeah.
So what's
Okay.
up?
Yeah. Do you have sources to like the because like in your schooling Globers about the radio waves, you talked about
Mhm.
how the military puts people in the skip zone. Like, do you have any sources for that? I would love it. Like, I'm a flat earther, by the way.
The military puts people in the skip zone.
Where there would be a skip zone,
Uh,
and they thought there was no skip zone.
yeah. I think I already dropped like almost all of those documents in the, maybe it's like Witsit Streams Telegram, but I can look it up and yeah, Witsit Streams. I think I dropped all the resources, but if not, I can drop it in there at some point. I mean, I have like a PowerPoint, but and then in the same folder, I have a bunch of documents.
So it's
Well,
in
yeah,
like
I went and found it. I went and found it on like easily accessible military like .mil. It shows. It doesn't say like, "Hey, this is supposed to be a skip zone," and we sent it there. It's like you just do the math, and you can tell that they should not be able to reliably, with 99.9% reliability, send it that far. That should be blocked by the air. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's at Witsit Telegram.
Yeah. T.me/Witsit Streams.
Okay. So it's just
I
on
think
there.
I have a couple. Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah, you have to scroll up a little bit, and then you'll. Yeah, it's probably sloppy, man, to be honest. But if you scroll up a little bit, you would find whichever one I was talking about, the microwave radio wave presentation.
Okay.
I'll try to
Well, thank you.
Oh,
organize
I
it.
found it. I gotcha. Word salad. If you have Telegram, this link will work.
Oh yeah, thanks. Okay.
But yeah, so with the
There's
telemetry
a bunch
data, like
under.
with the telemetry data, like to get like legit telemetry data with the GoPro, there was like one software that you had to use, and it was like expensive. So I will say I did feel bad about this because I asked if people would toss in to help me get it, and then once I pulled it, it like just showed my freaking address, and then I'm like, okay, is there on a way to like say remove the video? It's I was just so confused. I didn't even like make videos at my house. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even think unless I tested it once or whatever, I couldn't find any video that was like from my house. So I'm like, why are they showing that? And it's like where I set it up apparently, where I set the GoPro up. So I'm like, damn, this sucks. Because actually a follower sent me that GoPro for the trip and asked me to send it back to them. So anyway, I have all the videos, which is it just uses the videos. And I tried everything, bro. I showed a few people that I could trust my address to see if there's any way to like somehow fix it. And I'm like, dude, if we're actually altered anyway, it's just going to be a whole conspiracy, right? But
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, and if you were to edit it at all, if you could, I mean, I didn't see a way to edit it, but if you were to edit it at all to remove your address, that would be a whole other thing. So, like, let's say it
Yeah.
gave you everything you wanted, would it change anyone's position?
Well,
Let's
let me
say
say
it
this.
showed
That's what.
everything.
No, of course not. But what I saw in this, what I remember seeing is like because like my response to it is, well, okay, it says we were at that specific place in Antarctica because it's using globe coordinates. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I don't know what they're wanting to prove, but it does show like alleged elevation and GPS coordinates, stuff like that. It has a bunch of random data like that. It has like accelerometer data. So, but no, the answer to your question is no. And I will say, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys what happened. Right? I was trying to build a whole website with all the evidence, and I was hitting up all the Globers, hitting up the flat earthers that went. I was trying to make this whole like Google site that was like organized by different types of evidence, all that. And then like no one involved in the trip would work with me. I'm like consistently asking for everything that they have. Actually, Jaren's the only one that kind of cooperated, and Jaren sent me like his GoPro videos, which he of course ended up just releasing. Let's put these.
Actually, we're talking about that earlier, the technical difficulties. I was talking to Riggs about it and how it was hard transferring that data, rendering that data initially.
Oh yeah. Oh, the actual 360 videos was a nightmare. You know, it was like terabytes. And dude, it's funny because everyone was on. They had so much to say, and I personally had like 4 or 5 people all trying it on their different setups, just trying to because again, if you try to say compress it, conspiracy, right? So we're just trying to pull the
Yeah.
full thing, and dude, it's just taking forever. And then using the actual Insta360 software, it would get like 78% and then freeze, and you just sit there for like a day waiting on it, and then it would just pop up and say error, right?
Yo,
And then we're talking it takes
Yeah, I was
days
thinking about
to get
that,
it.
bro. We were wondering earlier, like, how big were those files? And if you want to satisfy the flat earthers and the Globers, you would want the raw image, as much information as possible from the noise, right? From the everything. You want it all. You don't want it compressed. You don't want
Yo.
just RGB. You want the whole raw format. 24
Right.
hours of consecutive footage. What is that?
got it. We got it.
What's
It
the
was like
gig?
32 hours, and it was like
With a tera,
3 or 4 terabytes.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
But what sucks is
Yeah.
on my computer, it looks amazing, right? Like if you just open up the file on my computer, even in the Google Drive, then I think that's where I got it. I think I downloaded it's either that or some other like drive sharing software. I don't remember. But when I had it on my program with the Insta360 app on my PC, like dude, it pops up in like high definition. It's fire, bro. Like you can zoom in and it keeps its resolution. So yeah, but then when I I would stream and I tried to go share screen, it'd start like freezing. It was like I could do nothing. And of course, even if I did that, they'd be like, "See, we can only show this part of it," you know. While really, the people that have it are sitting back like, "Bro, you guys are just wrong about everything." 32 hours high definition. We're looking at it. We're spinning around. It's like actually hella boring because it's just snow with the sun in the sky. But anyway, I don't know if that's ever fully come out, right? I mean, they dropped it on YouTube, which you had to drop the resolution. You can't be over 24 hours on YouTube. I think it has to be under 12 hours. So it's like 8-hour segments, which of course that's a conspiracy.
Yo, I have a question. So I think it looks suspicious that like it doesn't seem like the sun is ever at a a farther apparent position in the video. Like it just is kind of at the same distance and kind of circles around you, bobs up and down, but doesn't really go farther. There's no dimming or brightening from it because they're not. You guys was not allegedly the center of the South Pole where in the globe model it would be actually looking like that. So it shouldn't look like that in the globe model, I guess. But so their excuse for that is that the camera just doesn't make it look like the sun's going farther or whatever. What did it look like when you were there? Was there any kind of a parallax from the sun at some point appearing farther?
I mean, the sun was so bright, bro, that like it's not like you're gonna look at it with your eyes and know like any change like that. But there absolutely was a change with like it got colder. It got colder, and like maybe the sun was like not as bright as it got lower, right? But lower in the sky, I don't remember which direction that would be, but it like noticeably got colder. But it's not like there was any significant change to the size of it. But I will just say, bro, it's hella bright, bro. Like it's hella bright. Like if you take your sunglasses off, like you literally can only do that for a few seconds. Like it's crazy bright. So, and then what I was all excited about was looking at it with the solar filter. And then Jaren accidentally broke the thing. I couldn't even do it. I could try to freehand it. Actually, I have solar filter pictures. Those are freehanded. If anyone's actually used a P900 before, that's like insane to try to zoom all the way on the sun with the solar filter and freehand a picture. So, yeah.
Have you ever read Michael Brenner's Antarctica article where he goes through like the different bases and the different dates when the 24-hour sun starts, even though they're like really close?
No.
So there's like huge discrepancies, even bases that are like 10 miles away. The 24-hour sun is like a different time and different date that it starts.
Well, look, this is how I, for whatever it's worth, this is like how I view the whole thing. It's really like how I viewed it before I went. I'm like, okay, if we actually get on the plane and go south, either A, it's going to be hella cloudy and we're not going to see the sun. And that would mean like all these people here never really see a full 24 hours. Or B, the very place they're taking us, you see the sun in the sky the whole time, right? Like there's really it's not like we're going to watch it set. If you're talking about watching it set, I'm like, hell no, bro. They're not going to let us go there. I mean, honestly, Jaren and I were in the hotel still thinking it might get canceled, and I don't know. I mean, I thought there's no way they're going to like crash the plane or whatever. But now, if you just zoom out and look at what we know, it's like, okay, wherever they took us, they claimed it was certain coordinates. What I could verify is with like 4 different compasses, it said we were going south from Punta Arenas over the water. And then you run into a huge sheet of ice. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, we went to Antarctica, man. But, I mean, I guess someone can dispute that and say, I'm pretty comfortable with the fact we went to Antarctica. But we just went to, like, this approved little camp. And when you fly over Antarctica, bro, it's like, it honestly, like makes you tear up. Because it's, like, so pretty. And it makes you realize how small you are. And I'm like, dude, we're going to like one little place here, man. There could be anything here, bro. There could be entire civilizations under this ice. We could go another 20 miles and there could be like it could get green for all I know, right? It's so big. And I felt like we were flying over ice for a minute and according to the maps, right? Like we barely went inland. So my point is, if there's like an area where there's some type of optical effect, whatever, or who knows, like based on some of the stuff I've seen, there could be an optical effect all along the outside. But they're just going to take us where we see it. And of course, if you go over there and there's a 24-hour sun, well, then that's going to have to fit within their coordinates. If they've chose to put a camp there, it's going to fit within their claim, right? And I talked to the girl that was in charge of it, and dude, McToon and Will were acting like it was like she was like dunking on me, but it like just proved everything that we know. There's barely anyone involved. It's like super like compartmentalized, and they're one of only 3 companies that are even allowed to do it. They have to get annual like inspections, and they have all these different licenses. And so anyone that's trying to go to Antarctica, like if any multimillionaire's like, yo, let's go ski in Antarctica, yo, let's go, whatever they want to do. Like apparently Elon supposedly wanted to build his own little place there and then ended up not using it. But just in theory, if any multimillionaire wants to go, they're going through these people. They said that there was like some people that spent millions. They wanted to actually drive across Antarctica, so they got these like super badass Toyota Tundras or whatever. Whatever you're wanting to do, you're basically going through this person or maybe a couple other people. And it's only approved locations. I asked her all that. I actually have that call, but I don't know if I've released that. But the reason I haven't released it, if I haven't, is because Liz started recording, and I had set my phone up discreetly on the table to record her. And then she noticed that Liz was recording, and she got pissed. She said, "You don't have my consent to record." So, I don't know. I don't really want some like petty lawsuit or something, but anyway.
Where did that happen? In Antarctica?
No. Like in Punta Arenas, the night before we left, we had like a send-off dinner.
Mm.
And then this girl that's like in charge of it. And then come to find out, she's never even been to Antarctica. I'm like, what the? Yeah, she had never even been.
That happened in Argentina. You probably want to check the legality.
Yeah. Well, I actually think I did. I think it is like you can't, like two-party consent.
All right.
Were there any TFE hookups?
No. Well, I don't know. I wasn't watching everyone the whole time. What the hell? No, bro. There's like no way. Whoa. There was. I do think there was some hookups in the area. There was this guy. That like, I don't know. He had these really nice bottles of like champagne. He was saying he met a couple girls skiing and that they were supposed to come to his tent to have some drinks. So he may have pulled something off. Under a one-party consent rule. Oh, it says Argentina operates under a one-party consent rule.
So that's just you just have to know.
Yeah. Argentina criminal courts have long held that when someone willingly engages in a conversation, they accept the risk that the conversation may be recorded by another participant. Covert recordings made by a victim to support a criminal action have also been confirmed as valid. It says, while the act of recording may be legal, how you use the recording is restricted by other laws. You cannot publish or upload recording to social media or the media without the other participant's consent, unless it involves matters of public interest. I guess that you could definitely litigate that. And a recording may be admissible as evidence in legal proceedings, but its specific use depends on its circumstances. All right, well, so I would say this is a public interest.
I mean, worst case, you just can't go back to Argentina.
I mean, it's not like an earth-shattering interview anyway, right? Like it's kind of like all these official answers, but I mean, I guess it is interesting. It's the person that's in charge of, I don't know, approving tours or whatever.
And she's never been there.
Yeah, she's never been to Antarctica. Funny.
Well, all right. I need to call someone back, but as to the documentary, I don't actually even know. It's like how long it's been forever. So I can reach out about it, but they haven't reached out to me at all about it. So I'm kind of operating under the assumption that they're like, we're better off just to keep him out of it, right? Because no way they're going to work on a documentary for like a year using me and then me say no, because then it messes up the whole documentary, right? Like if you look at the trailer, they're using each person tactically. So, oh, you didn't even see me in it, but still, just in general. Like, and if you guys have seen the trailer, you could probably see why I reached out, because it's like one final, it's like really building up the whole everyone's going on this trip knowing this will definitively prove it narrative. And that is not what happened. So that's why I feel like I might need to be in it, because, I would say if it's just one sided and it just says the globe side and they're just saying flat earthers are here and they kind of straw man flat earth or whatever, it's like, well, whatever. But if they actually have flat earthers in it and there's like a flat earther saying, I was wrong, that's way worse, and like, and I thought we were pretty
Yeah,
bulletproof here. I thought we were going to be bulletproof because Jaron and I worked on that contract forever. I thought of like every conceivable thing. And I was like, okay, we'll just use.
You said
just a second, bro. Because they need us in it, I'm like, we can just use that.
I might be delayed, but you said.
Okay, just a second, man. So I'm like, because they need us in it, we can just use that as leverage, right? Like we can use that as leverage to make sure, like to ensure that a still man of our positions in there, which is this is an optical observation. Like it's just a celestial observation. This is entirely independent of physical empirical measurements of the surface falsifying the curvature, the claim of curvature. And then I was always just like popping off evidences, so that you could almost not even put me in the documentary without including like empirical measurements of the surface, and always like bringing up the falsification of the radius or like the second law of thermodynamics, like these facts that they don't want to include. No one wants to let the world know like the flat earthers are like, you couldn't have an atmosphere adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr with second law of thermodynamics as entropy will increase. They don't want it. They want us to go, it looks flat, All right,
How
I gotta
many
make
times do you think they interviewed like you? Like, hey, Austin, come here.
So they interviewed all of us at the beginning before we took off, and then they interviewed us all after we got back. And then there were a few times while we were there that they asked us some questions. I think they maybe interviewed me while I was there in the tent. I don't know. I can't remember, man. But maybe 3 times. And then other than that, it's just like he was literally always everywhere. And I gotta give him props, it's like insane. He barely slept at all, and he's like towing all this stuff around. It's pretty wild. And then he obviously taped some stuff while we were in Punta Arenas. There was like the first time we got there and ate dinner, it was like a big debate, like 3v1 against me, which pissed me off actually because they weren't supposed to be recording. But whatever. So I think McToon's even shown some of that. Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I was delayed before, but before you left, or maybe right when you came back, you said you had like a good explanation for how it could work in the flat Earth. I'm curious what you would go with if because you still haven't told anybody that is waiting for you to help them out with this. What you do you have you believe that there's a
came back.
map or
I came back and no, I mean I'm maybe kind of open to that, but I don't really see what the major contention with using the dome is. What's the issue with using the dome? And then there's like an apparent light source that goes in little circles the opposite direction. It would also be flipped upside down. So I don't know what the actual issue with that one is.
Well, there would be a point if you were flying, if it's just a dome, then you're going south in a plane, and at some point you'd be looking at the sun and something really weird would happen, like when you go across you go by 2 mirrors that aren't fucking flush and you're like, oh fuck, my reflection doesn't fucking look normal anymore. You know what I mean?
Actually, that's
Yeah, I don't.
you
I
have
don't
it
know that
where I think that maybe you're seeing the source sun during the northern summer. Then maybe the sun goes somewhere in the vortex. I'm not sure where you can't see the actual sun, so you're only seeing the reflection.
Right. So that's what I don't think there would be. You're talking about like there being some transitional stage, but I don't necessarily think that's true because the sun you're seeing is always just the apparent position relative to the observer. So it's like it's not like it's got its own independent location. It's that it's based on where you are. Like if you look at the demonstration, as the camera moves, that apparent sun moves with it, and it'll go all the way around. Wherever you're looking at it from is where you see it. So yeah. All right, I gotta make this call though. I'll jump back in here in a second.
Yo, word salad. When Witsit's here, you believe in the 24-hour sun down there?
No, I know that it's better to not talk about that right now because we're trying to have a profitable conversation so that even if there is a 24-hour sun, we still figure it out. Okay, because I do think there could be a southwest sunset or a 24 type of 24-hour sun in Antarctica. I still 100% believe it's fake.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice too. I can't always give him shit. Plus, they let me in the server still, so I can't always be the dick.
What do you think? They like made it appear like a fake sun, some sort.
What TFE?
Yeah.
No, I just think they were in like a. So I think that at one point they were in some cold climate, like some area where there's a glacier and mountains, and then at other points they're in like a basically like they have like this Amazon type setup where they can set up like the whole, like it's like the Las Vegas dome thing. They can make a set all around you.
Can I ask a question? Queue up.
So
Did the final debate happen yet?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
tonight.
I was asked. I fell asleep.
It's not a
I think
final
I missed.
debate. That was
I
terrible.
think I
I
missed the
watched it.
final
Of it.
debate.
I kind of fell asleep. Q up. Did you watch the end? I kind of fell asleep.
No, I can't watch it for very long. I skimmed it.
No, I got
So
Will Duffy. You could tell he was scared of Lindsay because Lindsay can demonstrate a 24-hour sun with his model, and so Will Duffy had to let him go pretty quickly.
Who's Whimsy?
He has a channel called Tomb of Illumination where he demonstrates his entire model, which he's been showing way before the final experiment that he thought there was a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. So
Okay, I seen Awakened Souls, some other guy, another guy, and then there was I forget who was doing good. Let me see.
Joe Ham,
What's his name?
Joe Hamby,
Oh, no, Ronnie.
never heard of him.
that's Ronnie and Jason. It's Awake Souls and his buddy. I can't remember Ronnie's channel name.
Ronnie was doing a pretty good job, like just speaking, like not going for any like other bullshit. Speaking pretty well, but then I fell asleep, so it's like fuck.
So I was just interested in the part you missed, like the part you fell asleep, the end of it, like the end of the final debate. Was that the end of the flat Earth debate? Then
It's
does Will
settled.
Duffy think it's over? He can go on about his business and leave flat earthers alone? Is that what's going to happen?
I think he's trying to.
Well, now the documentary is probably going to come soon.
So then the debate's not over. So it wasn't the final debate, like it wasn't the final experiment. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll go back on mute.
That was great. Good stuff.